Good morning, Tom James. Come on in. We're going to start in 50 seconds. Please make your way to your seats. The program is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our MC for the morning, LeVar Smith.
Where you at, Tom James? Let me hear you make some noise. Where you at? Get on up in here. Don't make me yell too loud. I don't have it today, y'all. Come on. Come on, are we glad to be here today, y'all? Yes. Washington, D.C., the pretty history, the beautiful scenery. Come on and have a seat. How was the District Winery last night? That was fun. Right on the river there. Nice courtyard area, pets out, families out, sliders, crab cakes, wine. A great band, great music. Can we give it up again for Tom James for doing that for us? They didn't have to do that, y'all. We could have been spending our own money last night. So I appreciate Tom James for doing that. That was amazing. So glad to see everybody this morning. An awesome day of sessions we had yesterday. Let's give it up for the speakers that we had yesterday who prepared for those sessions. They were amazing. So many good nuggets that I'm taking back for next season. I hope you guys are so intentional this week about seeking out that information. What is it? What's going to take me to the next level this season? What is going to help me achieve my goals? They're right here in the room. Who's doing right now what I want to do this coming season? Like a laser, like a missile, right on it, y'all. You feel me? Are y'all with me this morning? All right, cool. So we got a great session planned. We're going to do some great recognition, y'all. The Executive Club, Millionaires Club, Top of the Mountain Club, people who are doing some big things. And then we've got some very special recognition after that I hope you will just sit on the edge of your seats for. And then we'll keep it going from there, y'all, okay? So we're going to start it off again with some free clothing. Some free clothing, ladies and gents. All right. The Platinum Package. What kind of fabric is in a Platinum Package? Super 130s? Pretty nice, lightweight, luxurious, lustrous, breathable, made to your measurements, preferences, and what else? Your specifications, Jeff. Somebody knows the presentation. Yes. And retails for about $18.49 for a Platinum Package number 4. So let's get to the drawing. Digging way deep in there, y'all. Digging deep, Jeff. Digging deep. 5-digit number that begins with 6, followed with an 8, followed with a 9, followed with a 0, and a 6. 6, 8, 9, 0, 6. The winner is Carter Babcock. Look at how hype he is. I like his energy. I like that. That man wants his clothes. That's right, man. There you go. Right there. Let's get your Platinum Package. Come on, right here. Hold this right here. Come on, man. Let's hold this right here. There we go. Congratulations, Carter. No Navy solids, man. Keep doing those plaids. I like that energy, man. Excited about some clothes. Me too. All right. Take a look. Yes, indeed. We are going to recognize first-time club members, starting with the President's Executive Club, followed by Millionaires Club, and Top of the Mountain. Now, you should have received an email if you're being recognized. Would you do me the honors, if you're being recognized, to rise up and come over and stand right underneath this screen if you are going to be recognized and honored for our first club, which is President's Executive Club. If you would just come over to the side and wait for your name to be called. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes. All right. Let's get her rocking. First from Dallas, Texas, Kim Keller. From Atlanta, Georgia, we have Tori Cates. From Baltimore, Maryland, Miss Courtney Lord. And from South Florida, Katie Lee. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Daryl Pavelka. New York, Caitlin Hogan. Birmingham, Alabama, Lauren Werner. Austin, Texas, Micah Pittman. From Orlando, Thomas Corradetti. Washington, D.C., Katie Noriega. New York, Kristen Ordonio. Charlotte, North Carolina, Lily Yadawara. And from Fox Valley, Nicholas Badia. And finally, from Charleston, South Carolina, Mr. Mike Dawkins. Way to go, Mike. Our next club level that we will recognize is the Millionaires Club. It is achieved by selling 2,750 units in a 12-month period for the very first time. So if you are being recognized, please arise, line up on that wall. Please enter the stage to your left, exit to your right, and I thank you very much. The first recipient is from Charlotte, North Carolina, Mr. Ryden Bell. Nashville, Tennessee, Miss Ashley Johnson. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Rebecca Garces. Tampa, Florida, Mr. Eric Peterson. Way to go, Eric. Where is he? Where is he from Orange County? Mr. Blake Albino. Get on up here, buddy. Our next club level, Top of the Mountain Club, 3,300 units. Visions of a car and a driver right on the horizon for these recipients. Our first recipient today is Mr. Mike Pitzman, Philadelphia, PA. That suit's looking good. Woo! And from Detroit, Brent Balance. Way to go, Brent. Another round of applause for our recipients today, y'all. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good morning. How are you doing? Excellent. All right. The time is 8:20 a.m., July 7th, 2023, and it's time to start the 2023 stockholders meeting of Tom James Company. Yes, sir, I like it. I would like to begin by welcoming you to the meeting. I would like to ask George Stoner to act as secretary at this meeting. George, can you attest to the fact that notice of the meeting was mailed to each shareholder of record as of June 5th, 2023? Thank you, George. Can you also attest that the holders of a quorum of the stock of the company are present? Thank you, George. I now declare the 2023 annual meeting of Tom James Company to be officially convened. The first order of business will be the election of directors. The following individuals have been nominated to act as directors of the company for the ensuing year or until their successors are chosen: Todd Brown, Craig Forrest, George Stoner, and John Hitt. We will now vote on the election of directors. All those in favor of the directors proposed, say aye. All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Secretary, please note that the shareholders voted to elect the directors nominated. The next order of business to be considered is the ratification of LBMC as auditors to make an examination of the company's accounts for the year 2023. The Board of Directors recommends that the shareholders ratify the selection of the auditors for 2023. We will now vote on this matter. All those in favor of the appointment of LBMC as auditors, say aye. All opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Secretary, please note that the shareholders ratified the selection of LBMC as the company's auditors for 2023. Is there any other business to be brought before the shareholders? Thank you. We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second to that motion? Thank you. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. The meeting is adjourned. We will now review items of interest concerning our company. The 2023 annual report has been posted to the secured site. The annual report summarizes the state of the company as of the close of the preceding year. I encourage you to review it in detail at your convenience. In the remainder of our time together today, we will cover selected sections of the 2023 annual report. The annual report begins with our mission statement, followed by an opening letter from the board of directors. The letter begins, 2022 will be remembered as the year when many years of growing our business while simultaneously reducing our debt were finally able to be fully reflected in our share price. In 2019, we celebrated our 6th consecutive year of sales, profits, and earnings per share. On March 3rd, 2020, we paid out a then record 30 cents per share dividend. We were poised for yet another record stock price on April 1st, 2020, but the world had other plans. In the face of great adversity, Tom James performed admirably in 2020, reaching $12.5 million in pre-tax profits, while most apparel and textiles companies were drowning in red ink or simply closing their doors for good. How was this accomplished? By introducing new products, focusing on new business, offering value pricing as needed, continuing to hire salespeople, and most importantly, not cutting the things that lead to sales. These strategies bore fruit even in 2020, but things really took off in 2021. By the end of 2021, we had achieved our highest per-person average in company history. While other companies were struggling to rebuild, Tom James hit the ground running. In the first full year following the outbreak of the pandemic, Tom James achieved its 5th best year ever of profits. And we continued to drive down our debt. Go ahead, give that some love. By the end of 2021, we had repaid all but $9 million of the $69 million we had borrowed in 2017 to repurchase Mr. Hayes stock. On April 1st, 2022, the company raised its share price to $19.52, an all-time record, and our first increase since October of 2019. But there was still much more growth left to come. Tom James carried the momentum from 2021 into 2022 and resumed hitting Hall of Fame months once again with an all-time company best month ever in June. Our per-person average hit a new all-time high, topping the record set just a year before. With 12 solid months of growth behind us and a continued reduction in dilutive shares, Tom James achieved its highest ever earnings per share of $2.32. Driven by these extraordinary results, the company increased its share price again on October 1st, 2022 to $23.25, another record. We would go on to record 3 more best ever months in the fall of 2022, establishing new highs for July, August, and December. Our textiles and interiors divisions would record their best years ever in 2022 as well. And in July 2022, Tom James completed the payoff of the $69 million it had borrowed in 2017, a year ahead of schedule despite the COVID-19 pandemic. The combination of these factors produced our highest earnings per share ever, $2.59 a share. On March 2nd, 2023, we paid out our highest dividend ever, 33 cents per share. And on April 1st, 2023, our many years of growing our business while simultaneously reducing our debt were finally fully reflected in our shares with a new price of $25.95. In just 12 months, our share price had increased $6.43, a 33% increase. Through 5 months of 2023, our consolidated profits are up $1.79 million over the previous year. We set new Hall of Fame marks in January and February, and June 2023 has just established a new best month ever for Tom James. Our sales professionals scheduled to start this fall is as high as it has ever been. Yeah. But we must always remain wary of complacency. In a world where quality customer service seems to have become a quaint notion for many, we are reminded of the importance of always providing exceptional service by our founder, Spencer Hayes. We believe strongly that we are in business to serve our customers, and the way to maintain customers is to always give more value than we charge for, set high goals, give good self-talk, and hold ourselves accountable. The momentum that we are currently enjoying will not sustain itself. It will only continue via the focus and the determination of our people. There are 3 significant upcoming dates on the Tom James stock calendar. October 1st, 2023, we'll announce a new share price based on our results from July 22 through June of 23. In January, we have a potential dividend announcement. And on April 1st, 2024, we'll announce a share price based upon our results for the full calendar year of 2023. We look forward to each of these dates and the announcements they will bring. What will be the next share price? What will be the next dividend? This is your company, and you will determine what happens next. Let's make each of those dates something special. I thank you for your time and attention today. It is great to be in business with you. I would like to welcome to the stage our board of directors, Todd Brown, Craig Forrest, and George Stoner. As Todd often reminds us, how you leave an organization is just as important as how you enter. Today, we wish to honor some of the pillars of our company from manufacturing and administration, all of whom have decided to retire this spring after long and illustrious careers with Tom James. The 5 men and 1 woman that we will honor today have combined to provide 259 years of service to Tom James Company. Yeah. The shortest tenure of these partners is 38 years. They come from different parts of our business, but they all epitomize our core principle. You don't build a business, you build people, and the people build the business. 3 of our 6 retirees are able to be with us here today. We will first recognize the 3 that could not be here today. The first person we wish to honor is Melinda Dillard, a 41-year veteran. Yeah. Melinda was a 42-year veteran, just shy of 42 years actually, who managed our accounts receivable department for over 30 years. Melinda literally had one job in her adult life, Tom James. Entire generations of Tom James sales professionals have relied upon Melinda and her team to release orders and work with their clients' accounts. Every month end, Melinda was in the home office until late in the evening, sometimes 9 or 10 o'clock, making sure that everything got into that month's results. She celebrated your successes as her own and was always happy to see the new levels you were achieving. Melinda has retired to spend more time with her husband, Gary, and the rest of her family. Melinda and Gary could not be here today as they are traveling this week, as retirees should do. We will miss tremendously Melinda's work ethic, leadership, and infectious positivity, but we are happy to see her enjoying this next chapter of her life after a long and successful career. Please join me in expressing our heartfelt thanks and sincere gratitude to Melinda Dillard for her 41 years of service on behalf of Tom James. We would next like to honor Mr. Joe Blair. This is a letter from Craig Forrest. It says, "Dear Joe, I'm writing to you today on this day of celebration to both wish you well and thank you for your 38 years of service. Mr. Blair, stylish, elegant, focused, professional, and the font of knowledge for all things shirts. The year that Joe Blair started with Tom James was the same year that Michael Jordan was named Rookie of the Year. I don't say that to infer that Joe was a rookie, as he was not. He was the consummate professional, with the rigid and unforgiving training that the custom shop demanded. Mr. Blair came to Tom James and immediately elevated our shirt offerings' appeal and saleability. I say it as you were instrumental in growing our shirt business and making it a core component of our custom clothing and shirt offerings, and affected our business in similar ways as Michael Jordan throughout the years. As the president of IAG, you oversaw growth and expansion of many divisions in that time, which saw sales and profitability continue to grow. Over the many years, Joe, you have trained thousands of Tom James sales professionals in how to sell a shirt, the finer points of selling, and have shown them how to style and fit, and our company has the benefit of that legacy, which will continue for many years to come. It's with honor we get to celebrate your retirement today and wish you well in the future. Sincerely, Craig Forrest, and we'll now watch a short video about Mr. Blair's career. Joe Blair is at home today in Florida. Please join me in thanking Joe Blair for 38 years of service on behalf of Tom James. Our next honoree is Mr. Mark Falcone. Again, from Craig Forrest. Dear Mark, we celebrate your retirement today in front of over 400 friends, partners, and colleagues who are all here to celebrate your career. Your career at Tom James, when it started 40 years ago, Ronald Reagan was in power, and Motorola was about to introduce the first ever mobile phone. Over these many years, you have been based in English American and rose through the company to be the president of clothing, always working towards the quality of our garments whilst keeping them viable in an ever-tightening market. In that role, the company has seen great growth and expansion, a clothing factory in Tom James Chile and a clothing factory in Copley, the moving of Oxford, as well as the relocation of Tom James Chile, all the while ensuring that English American was the mothership, as it was always central to our results. English American, being the core of manufacturing, has always been the central and largest driver of profit of the manufacturing divisions, and a large portion of that is the direct result of your stewardship. Thank you, Mark, for your dedication, hard work, and for the support and advice that you have given our manufacturing people, including myself, which has allowed them to grow and thrive in the roles of manufacturing the finest garments in the world. You have built a great foundation for others to build upon. It's an honor to be able to celebrate your working life today, and we wish you well in the future. Please watch a video about Mr. Falcone's career. Mark Falcone is also traveling this week with Donna and could not be here. But please join us in thanking Mark Falcone for 40 years of service on behalf of Tom James. Our next three honorees, we're grateful to have here today, and I'm going to hand it over to Craig Forrest to handle the festivities from here. Craig?
Good morning. A little bit of an occasion. Dear Jim, I have had the pleasure of working with you for 20 of your 39 years. In thinking of you, the following words come to mind without pause. Super intelligent, dedicated, hardworking, astute, of exceptionally good counsel, and company-driven. Jim has worked in several positions in his time with Tom James. Jim's astute financial guidance has set up the framework for all the IAG companies and allowed them to have a clear path to thrive. His expertise in setting up financial plans and conveying them to our divisions contributed immensely to our financial success over the years. heavily involved in the acquisitions and setup of many companies, H&S, Crossville, Clissold, TJ Chili, Elizabeth Aiken, and Copley, to name a few. Over the last 8 years, Jim has been based in Individualized Shirts and mentored from the beginning a young team in preparation for his retirement. He has succeeded in putting together a great group of individuals that will be able to continue to build on his work for years to come. It is fitting, and like Jim, that he is going to continue on for a few months more to help us with the Rochester Tailored Clothing Company transition, setting up all the financial processes to give us a clear path to making this acquisition a success for our company. If you would allow me, Jim, you have both built the foundation and grown them diligently over the years. There is not one IAG HSG company that has not benefited from your involvement. He has helped grow all of them in some way or another in his career. Jim, congratulations on your career with Tom James. Thank you sincerely for your contribution, and thank you for the foundation you have laid for others to build upon. It is my personal pleasure to call you my friend and my partner. Please join me in expressing your gratitude for Jim Brubaker.
Thank you very much. That was really wonderful. I am extremely grateful to you for recognizing my time with Tom James today. I'm very appreciative to share this day with Dougal Monroe and Warwick Jones and Joe Blair and Mark Falcone and Melinda Dillard. Tom James is a great company. We have great products. We have the best training program in the industry. We have great factories. But most of all, we have great people. And I'm going to share a little bit about my career with you and show you why Tom James has really great people and why, as Todd Brown says, the best is yet to come. I've always been ambitious, going back as far as I can remember. And some proof of that is in, okay, we need the video. Can you put the video, the slideshow up? Kevin? No, that's not it. Yep, it's over there where the medal is. That's it. There we go. Put it up there. Okay. Some proof of that I was always ambitious, is this picture when I was 4 years old. And if you look carefully, you can see that in that picture, I was studying the latest road test report on the Porsche 718. And also, from a very young age, I like to dress up. I officially became an employee of Tom James in 1995, but the roots of my Tom James career go back to 1975. I was 19 years old when I went to work for the Southwestern Company to sell books for the summer. I really needed the money so I could go back to school that fall. I'd never sold anything in my life, and I was terrified. On the morning of my first day in sales school, a man got up and he said that the company had been selling books door to door for over 100 years. And he said that if I learned the material that week in sales school and I worked hard and I had a good attitude, he guaranteed that I would be successful. Well, that gave me a lot of confidence because I knew I could do those three things. That man was Spencer Hayes. Well, I sold books for 3 summers, and it provided a great foundation for my working career. Here's my first sale in 1975. In those 3 years, I knocked on over 10,000 doors. Not only was Southwestern a great experience, but it connected me to my future wife, Nancy, who is here today. Little did I know that 9 years later, I would go to work for Spencer and spend the rest of my life working for his companies. I went to work for Tom James in 1995, and I bought my first stock that year, the first chance I got. Adjusted for splits, I paid $1.85 a share for that stock. And a few weeks ago, the company bought that stock back from us for $25.95 a share. No one ever does anything alone, and that certainly has been true in my career. One of the things, as was mentioned, that I've been privileged to do was to work on our Tom James acquisitions. I worked on all of these, starting with Oxford Clothes in December of 1994. And of course, we're working on one right now in Rochester. It's interesting that every manufacturing facility we own, except the Crossville Mill and the operation for Holland & Sherry in Maryland, came to Tom James by acquisition. We've added a lot of capacity and a lot of talent over the years for not that much money. I had 7 different jobs working for Tom James, and the last 8 years I mainly spent at Individualized Shirts. And IS a good example of what great people we have at Tom James. There are over 1,500 people in our company working in our factories, and nearly all of them never get to come to one of these great meetings. Here's John Laresca. He was the founder of Individualized Shirts in 1961. When he retired in 1996, Amos Turner took over. And he was the factory manager for almost 20 years. And then I took over. And now Sue Gambert is taking over for me. She spent nearly her whole adult life in the shirt-making business. So for the entire history of IS, there have only been 4 people leading that factory. And that makes for tremendous institutional knowledge and consistency, and you can look forward to more of that. I've been extremely grateful for the opportunity to work with Joe Blair, Mark Falcone, and Brian Padani. We sort of grew up together in the business. And I also had the privilege of working with Dougal Monroe and Warwick Jones, who I always respected for their tremendous skill and knowledge. I always felt like I had great leaders and mentors to look up to in the company, like Phil Williams and Sergio Castellina, and of course, Spencer Hayes. Spencer started the company. He started the stock program, and he always set a great example. That's part of why Tom James is such a great place to work. Most of the people I looked up to were 10 and 20 years older than me. And then, one day, I looked around this room, and I realized I was the old guy in the room. This is the 3rd board of directors I've served with. And let me tell you, these 4 are some of the hardest working people I have ever worked with. You don't mind working hard when you know your bosses are working at least as hard as you are. I don't know anyone who's succeeded in Tom James for any length of time who did not work hard. I had 3 great bosses in my career: Spencer Hayes, Sergio Castellina, and Craig Forrest. I never had a boss who didn't work at least as hard as I did. I always respected how hard they worked and how seriously they took their responsibility. I always worked hard at my job, but we managed to have some fun along the way too. We did the solar project at IS in 2020. We introduced tech shirts last year. And this year, we opened a new shirt factory at TJ Chili. Here's Pia Espinoza, another one of our rising leaders in manufacturing. Never underestimate your own potential. You have no idea how successful you can be if you believe and if you try. So the next 10 years can be the best in the history of the company. But as always, it's up to us to make it happen. Tell yourself, if it's to be, it's up to me. Now, it's time for me to get out of the way and let some other people take their shot. So here's your leadership team at IS. That's Sue Gambert, Ankita Serrano, Mabel Munoz, Fran Ferger, Ashley Sanders, and Barbara Garcia. Their average age is at least 20 years younger than me, and they have tremendous knowledge and experience. I look forward to watching what you all can do with the company in the years to come. Thanks for listening to an old guy for a few minutes. Thanks for being my partner. It's been great. Thank you very much. I would like to ask my family to come up on stage and celebrate with me. My wife, Nancy, is a really important part of my Tom James career because she never complained about the sacrifices that we made to build a career. She always supported our decisions to buy Tom James stock. This is Everett. We took some risk in the early years, and we put a lot of our paycheck into Tom James stock, but it really paid off for us. And my children, Eric and his wife Michelle, Mark and his wife Jen, and my daughter Meg and her children Leighton and Everett, they shared my Tom James journey with me, and so it's fitting that they should join me today. Thank you all very much.
So, Jim, just a moment, guys.
Oh, don't go.
Don't run away.
We told not to go.
Jim, we'd like to present you with a few mementos of your career and a very important plaque. But first, we'd like to present you with a caricature. Don't know if we can bring that on the screen, so Todd, would you like to read some of these, or would you like me? Okay. Jim has provided great leadership and guidance for the people and the future of Tom James Manufacturing. He joined Tom James in 1995. He has held several different positions within his time here, but most of all, his career has been dedicated to the shirt divisions. Chief Operating Officer, Tom James Shirts. There's a picture of the Wall Street Journal. There's a picture of Jim pointing at the sun saying, "I bet we can make shirts with that." It's a great day in Perth Amboy. And there's a picture of him holding a Montes Alpha wine box asking who stole it. Jim, I'd like to present that to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're going to ship that to you. Jim Brubaker, in grateful appreciation of 39 years of service, each and every one of your many contributions are appreciated for the immense value that they have added to the development of the company. Wishing you a long and very happy retirement from all of us at Tom James. Take the plaque, we'll get it back off your ship. Do you want a picture? You want a picture with the board?
Can't travel.
We'll get it later. Dear Dougal, I'm writing to you today on this day of celebration to both wish you well and thank you for your 47 years of service. To have been able to work with you over the last 23 years has been my honour, and one that I will convey in the following. When I think about Dougal Munro, the thoughts I have are honest, decidedly articulate, passionate, focused, professional, the consummate cloth master, and most of all, ever astute, ever attentive. Attentive is too small a word for the weight that it carries. It needs more explanation. Attentive for the business, attentive for the cloth, attentive for the service Holden Sherry provides, but most of all, attentive for all the people in the Tom James family in each and every way. No one makes you feel more special than Dougal when he talks to you. He has a special gift that makes you the center of the world whilst you are together. And this was a feeling that helped so many sell Holland & Sherry and made every day a Holland & Sherry day. It is without doubt that your contribution over these 47 years has been the foundation of the business and the way it has grown. The dependability you provided allowed the company to move forward. If you like, you provided a large cornerstone of the foundation that allowed Holland & Sherry to grow with Tom James. Ultimately, that growth early on in business was the integral part of Tom James's decision to buy Holland & Sherry. Since then, your stewardship, relentless travel at great personal sacrifice with time from your family, your romantic approach to cloth has seen Tom James and Holland & Sherry thrive together to where it is today. You have personally trained and mentored and taught thousands of Tom James people to sell Holland & Sherry clothing. Dougal, thank you for your service, but as, if not more importantly, thank you for what you have done and the way you have done it. Please join me in showing our appreciation for Dougal Munro.
Thank you all so very, very much. It's an enormous pleasure to be here in front of you today, this one last time. A lot of photographs there, a lot of memories, wonderful memories. I believe it's 77 or 78 perhaps semi-annual meetings, or maybe a little less, but lots of wonderful meetings with wonderful people. I'd like to, first of all, just recognize my fellow retirees, Jim, Warwick, Joe, Mark, and Melinda. Nothing could give me greater pleasure than to be sharing this special occasion with them. So congratulations to them, and thank you. Thank you all so very much. You know, my first Tom James meeting was January 1984 at the Roadway Inn in Arlington, Texas. It was a relatively small gathering. And in one of those first meetings, one of those first presentations, I got a tap on the shoulder from a veteran Tom James sales professional behind me, Wayne Steele. And he said, "Boy, if you're going to work with Tom James, you better get yourself some decent clothes." And I thought I was pretty sharply dressed in a navy Dupioni blazer, but Wayne had other plans for me. The Tom James people, the people of Tom James and Tom James Company changed my life, not just my wardrobe. Together with the people of Holland and Sherry around the world, I am sincerely grateful to all the employees of our companies who unfailingly made my task easier by their and your commitment to excellence and constructive cooperation with optimism and enthusiasm. I also want to thank my truly amazing and talented wife, Becky Monroe. She can stand up, she's over there. Who throughout my entire career has supported and encouraged me in every way possible. Without her, I certainly would not be here today. Our children, Katrina and Rob, both who are known to quite a number of you, our children have also contributed significantly. Katrina's birthday is July the 5th. So I'm looking forward next year for the first time in many, many years to celebrating it actually with her in person. I've made so many friends, significantly friends who are here today in my career, and the people and the homes of Tom James sales professionals have always been so very welcoming. From one end, east and west, north and south of the United States and overseas too. Australia and Europe. Thank you all for that too. You have always been so generous and so hospitable. One who is here today did even more. I think it was in 1995 in Myrtle Beach on a golf trip with Tom James salespeople. Kevin Harris saved my life. I know we use that term liberally. He saved my life. He did save my life, literally, truly. I was choking in a restaurant, and he knew what to do. Thank you, Kevin. Tom James people are truly multi-talented. Kevin, where are you? There he is. It could have ended right there, but thankfully it did not. And we went on to play golf too the next day, which was even better. My mission has always been to heighten knowledge and bring sales professionals to a level of self-sufficiency that would grow your business, the business of Tom James, and provide ever higher levels of prosperity to you and your families and to Tom James, and ultimately to the value of Tom James stock and the prosperity of the company as a whole. I've enjoyed it all, raising the levels of luxury, cloth knowledge to be presented to the highest levels of competence and confidence. That's who you are, and I am so pleased and proud and delighted to have been a part of your lives in that effort. One saying which I think many of you enjoy using today. I remember perhaps creating for sales school so many years ago. What we need to do today is decide on the level of luxury at which you wish to establish yourself. And I think that's been used rather effectively as we've grown from just selling in 1984, I think it was just under 100 suits that were more than $1,000. Can you imagine that? To where we are today. I have absolute confidence in the current leadership of Tom James, Todd Brown, Craig Forrest, John Hitt, and George Stoner. They're getting the job done for all of you, and getting it done very well. They're joined, of course, by Steve Nucci, Steve Adams, Jason Caldwell, getting it done for Tom James. Together, we have strengthened the bonds of sartorial exceptionalism. Spencer Hayes once told me, "Don't do their work for them. Teach them what you know and do so that they can do the same and teach others." There's almost something biblical about that, isn't there? Well, I think it's worked pretty well. Please do, as we go forward, keep the quality up, and do, as Craig just said, make every day a Holland and Sherry day. Thank you all so very much, and God bless you.
Dougal? I'd like to present this on behalf of Tom James to you, Dougal. Make every day a Holland and Sherry day. There's some golfing, some haggis.
Good, like it.
Some whiskey, and some sheep in a dream. I'm not going to go there. Congratulations, Dougal.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Lower, lower.
Thank you. Let's just,
All right. I'll take that and we'll ship it
I'll
too.
just go back here.
Yes.
Becky, come on up here. Share this moment with me. Thank you so much. It's fantastic.
You do it.
Am I on? Yeah. This says, thank you to Dougal Monroe in grateful appreciation for 47 years of service. Each and every one of your many contributions are appreciated for the immense value that they have added to the development of the company. Wishing you a long and very happy retirement from all of us at Tom James. Thank you, Dougal.
Thank you, John.
Here, we'll get a picture with you here. Yeah, let's do that. Everybody. Yeah, we'll come on in. Come in, everybody.
Mr. Warwick Jones. Dear Warwick, I'm writing to you today on this day of celebration to both wish you well and thank you for 54 years of service. To get an Australian to write something about a New Zealander is an opportunity too good to miss. But I will reel in those tendencies and be serious as the occasion demands. When Warwick Jones started at Copley, I was 4 years old, and most of our partners in the audience today were not even born. Warwick, you are the ultimate clothing guy. Stylish, charismatic, a great builder of relationships, and caring. You have been front and center in the men's tailored clothing industry for decades. Coming into Tom James with the Copley purchase in 2012, we, Tom James, were the recipients of your style, experience, and grace. When we asked you to help with Oxford, you unequivocally said yes without hesitation. Your style and character held you in good stead with the building of wonderful relationships within all of Tom James, and especially within Oxford. The shop floor workers are especially fond of you from your daily interactions and routines. Your grace through COVID was exceptional and gave guidance to all. It was certainly not something you needed in your 51st and 50th year, but perhaps it was the years preceding that that gave you the experience and calm to help navigate that period. Well, my Antipodean friend, I thank you on behalf of Tom James for your dedication and your commitment to our company and wish you well in the future. Please join me in expressing gratitude for Warwick Jones.
Well, I was just sitting next to Becky, and she said, I've got to get a hanky out because I'm a little teary. And this is a very moving day for me. Clearly, I am, without doubt, the oldest man in the room, and I'll take the heat for that right now. But in truth, I have had 54 great years in one business, and in essence, with one company. I arrived at Copley, then known as Cambridge Close, on April 4th, 1969. And that had been my place of work from then until I joined Oxford at the request of Craig. And it was, in fact, when he called, I said, well, I'm retiring next week, Craig, so you're a little late. He said, well, here's what I want you to do. He said, I want you to go down and follow a suit through for yourself and see the Oxford process. And for many of you who have been there, you would know that that is such a magical trip, because nowhere in the world is there a manufacturing plant that makes a garment completely by hand, or hand-stitched, as I like to say. And so, rather than going fishing the day of my retirement, I packed my bags and I moved to Chicago. And it was, without doubt, the very best thing I did or could have done. I was there a total of nearly 5 years. And Craig is right. I made a lot of friends there. I enjoyed a lot of the company of the team that was running Oxford: Stanley, Larry, Nicole, who turned out to be just wizards at what they did. And to that effect, I can say that the company is in good hands, and I'm only hearing good things about the product that is being produced because I do keep my eye on it. One of the great pleasures for me was, just a little bit of background first of all. At Copley, everything we did was sold to the wholesale market, so the mom and pop stores or the larger stores, the Saks, and so on. So everything was a wholesale sale. We had no retail sales. So when I came to Oxford, the big sellers were you guys. And one of the joys for me in working with Oxford was the events that would happen when a group of 14 or 15 or 20 would come to Oxford and spend a day with us or a morning with us. And in the tour around the factory, you could see the excitement building in the way in which they saw a garment being made by hand. When I've told this story before, when I went and followed my personal suit through, I made the mistake of counting the number of hand stitches that went into every garment, into my garment, I should say. But I did not take a clicker with me. I had to mark down whatever section I was in and how many hand stitches there was, and do the math that night. And anyway, it turned out there were 14,224 hand stitches in my garment. And I think that is the sign of probably why the Oxford name is what it is. In my early days visiting Neiman Marcus, I would see the Oxford suits on literally shirt hangers, crammed together, and see a price tag of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on them and wonder, how do they sell these things looking like this? And then you would watch a salesman would put a garment on a customer, and the garment would just float on him. Everything happens from the shoulders and the neck, and the garments fit perfectly. But the reality is that you can only produce so many garments when they're made by hand. And so it's important that they are special absolutely every time. And I recall a line that Max Ankin, who was the owner of Copley when I joined, he used to say to me, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And there's a lot of truth in that. And I especially think as you sell the Oxford product, and this any product, that it's like measure twice, cut once. And so you have to be so particular about writing up those orders. I mean, as salespeople, writing up orders is just the worst task in the world. But the bottom line is, if you spend time doing it and do it right, you will get a much better product than when you don't. And if you write it up yourself, you would be surprised. I know many of you have people who write those orders for you. You'd be surprised at how many things come to mind as you're writing that order. And you go back and you take a second look at it. Critical. Anyway, for me, as I said, Oxford is in good hands. I have not yet seen Nicole, who's usually here. I'm sure she is. But it's wonderful that the company is going forward and that you as the team that makes Oxford successful are doing what you're doing in terms of the volume you're producing. And I always maintain you sell from the top down. You don't sell from the bottom up. It's much harder to move a customer from a $1,400 suit to a $5,000 suit. But it's much easier to hear a no if he says no to your $5,000 suit to sell him one underneath it. And you don't have to go all the way to the bottom. But anyway, I won't take this any further. I just want to tell you that from my standpoint, this has been a thrill and a pleasure. And I must also say that the board have done an exceptional job. And I've had a chance to spend 5 years with the company at Copley and then another 5 years at Oxford. So I guess I can actually say I've probably had 2 jobs. But the bottom line is I've had fun, and I wish you all the luck in the world. I know these meetings are particularly good. I'm always sorry that more people can't come because I think they would get a lot out of it. Anyway, your unbridled enthusiasm when we meet one-on-one is just something to believe. So I thank you. I wish you luck and good selling. Thank you.
years, 54 years of service, began his career. There's a camper van for when Warwick goes around New Zealand. That looks like an Elvis impersonation, which you can YouTube if you want to see it. New Zealand Rugby, a Vespa, and congratulations.
Thanks.
In grateful appreciation of 54 years of service, each and every one of your many contributions are appreciated for the immense value that have added to the development of the company. Wishing you a long and very happy retirement from all of us at Tom James.
Get in real quick.
Take that with you and we'll get it off you. You're up.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, one last time, please show it all your gratitude to these folks for what they've done for us. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Good morning, Tom James. How we doing? We good? Let me try it again. Good morning, Tom James. How are we? All right. After last night, I guess that's all I'm going to get. Okay, so before we let you go today, I've got some really cool stuff for you. It's that time of year again. What time is it? No, we did free clothes before. It is fall getaway. Yeah. You really excited about the fall getaway? Now, you voted. We heard what you had to say, and then we found the places. So what did you vote for? That's exactly what we picked. Good job. You won if you picked the right two. Okay, so you want to see where they are? Let's watch the video real quick. All right. Which one are you going to go on? Hold on. Okay. Who's going to San Diego? All right. Who's going to Savannah? Who's not going anywhere? Well, you didn't answer the first time, so we got a little bit here. Anyways, you'll figure out where you want to go, so you got to figure out how to get there, right? Okay, so let's look at the qualifications really quick. It's the same thing as last year, okay? This is the same chart. I hope I didn't make any typos last year because I used the same exact thing, okay? So at the 2-month quota, you got to get quota plus 20. That's an average, 20 over each month. And you're going to start getting some cash, $500. And then with new clients, just like we usually do it, we're going to multiply that across, okay? If you get 32 new clients at quota plus 20 over those, you're going to get the fall getaway. Or you can earn the fall getaway at quota plus 80. And then we start, once you get to the new clients, 16 new clients, you get to start doing those pick things. You're going to start picking things, whatever you want, okay? So we got this chart. You can look at that on Monday. It'll be on the Secured site soon. But here's the extra things you can buy. Okay, so you can get the extras. You're going to pick 2 extras or 3 extras or 4 extras or whatever it is. You're going to either get extra nights for your fall getaway, $400 cash, $400 stock and matching options, $400 for stock forfeitures, or $400 in clothing allowance. Pretty good, right? You can split that up however you want to, okay? Got it? All right, so you got to pick 2. This is where everyone gets out your iPads and you take the pictures. I usually don't want you to do that, but go ahead and take this picture because you're not going to see it again until, I don't know when, maybe Monday. So the dates are October 20th and 22nd for Savannah, Georgia, and November 10th through the 12th. Is it backwards? Sorry. Okay, so it's backwards. So get in your phones and get some Photoshop stuff and just swap those over, and I'll fix it later, okay? Sorry about that. If you can't go to any of those, you can come to Shelbyville, Tennessee, and hang out with me at the pool. All right? Who wants to do that? You're liars, every one of you. All right, so that's it. We're running out of time here, but those are the trips, and I'll fix the graphics, and y'all can take pictures in your closing session at divisional sessions. So let's bring up LeVar for a few more announcements, and he's going to close us out.
Give it up for Kevin in the fall getaway, y'all. All right, before we finish up, today we are blessed to celebrate the birthday of none other, our very own from Windsor, Connecticut, Mr. Gary LeClaire. Stand up. Are you here, Gary? There he is, right in the back. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Happy birthday, dear Gary. Yeah, happy birthday, Gary. What a blessing it is to celebrate with you today, man. Congratulations. All righty, get your bio pictures taken. Every new partner and anyone whose picture was reverted to their old picture needs to stop by for a new headshot. You all look better than you did when you were in sales school. John Cardos, Sarah Slaper, just to name a few. I'm just reading it, y'all. A reminder for tonight's formal night dinner. You may not bring in your own alcoholic beverages into formal night due to hotel policy. A couple of notes about our departure for tomorrow. If anyone needs boxes to be shipped back out, they must be at the registration desk by 8 a.m. Friday morning with a return FedEx or UPS label. This will not go on to the master account. Luggage storage will be in Maryland 1 and 2 with hotel staff assistance. Saturday, please check out of your room by 11 a.m. by TV or a key drop box in Maryland 1, 2, where luggage storage is. Only guests needing a printed folio for incidentals would need to go to the front desk. Ground transportation to DCA will be provided starting after the general sessions on Saturday at the Maryland Bus Loop. Our breakouts begin at 9:45, and one more message. Drink tickets can be purchased today until 2 p.m. at the registration desk. All right. And next up are our breakouts at 9:45. See you tonight for the main event, President's Club Formal Night. Thank you.